What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more.
What episode is it?
It is episode 22 of the Stick Drift
Uh.
Podcast. Welcome back to this episode of the Stick Drift Podcast where, yes, don't you worry, because there's not a lot going on this week, but there is enough.
Yeah,
for
Easter weekend, so
yeah.
there's actually nothing.
I mean, like, happy Easter. I mean, I guess I hope you had a happy Easter, I guess. This is a day after Easter. I mean, what is that
It's technically, like, Good Monday.
I mean, yes, I guess it would
right?
be, it'll be, yeah, exactly. It'll be Bad Monday.
Good
I suppose
Friday, I don't know.
Easter-related vehicle. I had some bikers outside my house. A bunch of American bikers, as in, like, Harley Davidsons.
Why
Indian
were they
Scouts.
there?
I don't know. I imagine just like... you know what? I kind of admire it. Because they were all older. So I imagine, like, 6, 7, 8, like almost 10, 12 pub dads were like, what? Like, motorcycle, Harley
The local
Davidson.
Harley Davidson
Yeah,
Facebook group.
like
rolled
that
out.
kind of people were like, why don't we go around in bunny costumes? So I kind of admire it, right?
Only like 3 of them were, and then the rest were just...
They are just helmets.
Average
They are like
Harley
fluffy
Davidson
helmets.
attire.
Oh yeah, some of them were just like Harley Davidson drivers. But yeah. So what happened was, it wasn't this morning, but I was walking around and there was a bunch of Harley Davidson drivers who'd put on. Some of them I think was just over the helmet. I think one of them was a rabbit helmet. Like, it was a big fluffy helmet with ears. And they were just outside, like people were at the doors and all the children were out being like, whoa, look, whoa, cool. And then, like, the parents were taking videos, basically. And then that was it. It was just so goofy. It was, I mean, but again, it's kind of sweet. Like, admittedly, it's kind of like, sure.
They have nothing better to do on a Sunday. Like,
Well, they're like that. They're
for Easter, especially, it's such a
Exactly
nothing
true.
holiday.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've got a Holner, like that man.
Yeah. Cause like what? As you get older, at least you could like you still. Well, if you're out like living somewhere, you go home for Christmas. You go home for, we're not American, but Thanksgiving. You'd. Well, what other like?
Well, I don't think there's many other holidays.
At least social media's kind of active on Halloween because everyone's like, look, I dressed up as a thing. But Easter, as soon as you're past, like, 7, okay, no, like 14, 15, Easter is so nothing.
Easter solely exists because Cadbury want to sell chocolate. Like,
Yeah.
I'm almost certain is the only reason it's still around.
Well, it's like, sure,
is.
like, Christmas is also a similar thing, but with brands, and hey, I'm not gonna hate on Christmas, because the advertising money is amazing, but, like, it's that, like,
Yeah.
but it's, at least there's other stuff, like, obviously
But
there's
I
like,
couldn't tell you like the day Easter is on any given year. Like it.
I
Like,
don't
ask
know
me in
either,
a month
no,
when
no.
Easter is. It
I think-
sure is a day.
I didn't even realize it was Easter. I looked and I was like, wait, it's Easter?
I thought it
What?
was at the end of the month. I always thought it was like the 20-something of
I think
April.
that's Halloween.
That's Halloween's 31st
Yeah.
of October.
And what's the one that's on the 14th of some month? There's one that's on the 14th of a month.
Valentine's Day, I'm
Is
pretty
that-
sure.
Oh, Valentine still has a meaning, I get. I mean, I guess not for... Okay, that sounds kind of sad if I go just not for you. That sounds bad. No, but-
They fly the flag of St. Valentine on the
Yeah.
church.
Oh, is that a...
Yeah.
Was there actually a Mr. Valentine's who discovered Valentine?
They have St. Valentine's flag.
A
so-
Valentine landed on his head, and he went, I will call this a Valentine. And thus Valentine's
Yeah.
was born. But the thing with those ones have some versatility outside of being children, right? I mean, even Halloween, right? Halloween, sure, mostly children, but you'll have adults
You
dressing
get
up.
Fortnite cosmetic, yeah.
Unless you're, like, religious, Easter has, like, 0... And you'd have to be, like, religious.
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
even...
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
you have to be
still,
an extreme.
and I don't even mean you at that point. I mean your parents would have to be religious for Easter to have absolutely any meaning to you.
I couldn't tell you what the holiday's about. It sure
It's like-
exists.
No, neither. Is it something to do with? See, I used to think it was when Christopher got resurrected, right? But isn't that New Year's technically or something? Because that's BC A.
They added a load of months at one point, though, didn't they? So.
Oh yeah, true. It might have been shuffled around in the months, but that's only the last. Was it the last? No, the last ones got shuffled along. So they added it. Did they add it at the beginning? I'm
assuming the eggs have some meaning. Like,
I mean, the egg. It's and rabbits don't lay eggs.
So where does an egg? I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it is, right? Like, as soon as you're past 15, it's just the egg holiday. It's just like, look, people do things themed around eggs, I guess. Like, there's. You could decorate an egg, but on Halloween you get a pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot more mass. Yeah, people. Do you not remember being in school and it was like?
No, I don't.
I mean, I guess you don't know. Well, I do. And you'd have to, like, paint the eggs, and everyone would paint an egg in a certain pattern or something. Like, that's all it is. Yeah. I mean, I guess you get the Easter Bunny Fortnite skin, but...
yeah, I was gonna say, that's...
Racing games, like, Crew 2 did... what did Crew 2 do for Easter? I have no idea, frankly.
Did they do anything?
No. I think they once had,
didn't either, I'm pretty sure.
No. Again, it's really a forgotten holiday. No, I don't even think Crew did something for Valentine's this year.
They've done the heart top. Is it like the teddy bear top was Valentine's?
That was last year. So, or maybe even the year before. God, we're getting old. Which, the Crew 2 must have known that I was single that Valentine's. That was nice of them to not do anything for that Valentine's. It's because me and the Crew 2 spent that Valentine's keeping our relationship hidden.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But yeah, God, all of that just because Easter stinks. And mostly because, like, what are you even gonna do for Easter? I guess we're not doing anything except like a bit of a lazy episode because there's nothing going on.
You get 4-day weekend because you get Friday and Monday off. So.
Oh yeah, I guess. Which the trains took Friday and Monday off. And the weekend off.
I'm amazed everything's shut. It's so surprising. Considering how unserious the holiday is.
yeah. Like,
because everything's still open for, like, Valentine's Day
and,
I don't know, whatever other holidays
Well,
exist.
they couldn't miss the money, really. Wait, is stuff going to be closed tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Oh, but Asda better be open, man. Or, like, any supermarket.
Yeah, I assume it will be. Yeah, the poor retail employees are going to work.
Yeah, because I think about it, because, like, surely they still want the money. Like, stuff's open on Christmas. Costa was open on Christmas. But the gym wasn't, surprisingly. I imagine
Morrison's
the gym closed too.
Was shut today. Like, what?
Oh, what about the money?
Coming to an end.
Yeah, but car brands also not doing a lot. So...
They're also car brands. By the looks of it.
Honestly, could make a segment about how little car news there's been. Like, I looked at Tesla, because they're always doing something. All they've done is, like, look at buying a factory.
The last post in car news was the 5th, before I put in my thing today.
Yep.
That's 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah. There's been nothing. I mean, again, I guess we'll brush over a new car reveal. I mean, this will be what's coming up. We'll brush over a new car reveal. Not even really enough for a spotted. Well, spotted. We'll probably chuck that into the car reveal. It's an obscure one. Actually, I didn't even think about it. That mini story. We'll talk about that as well, I guess. We'll make that one whole big segment.
I've seen nothing but bad about that. So.
Yeah. So we'll probably we'll jumble up all the what car news there is into one segment, but then we'll also talk about some big news from Top Gear this week on the podcast. Top Gear, I imagine most of you, I don't know how young you guys are.
All 4 people who still watch it.
I mean, I say still watch, right? What I was going to say is watched it before, right? When it was good. Those... Again, I don't know how young you lot are. The show was good at one point. Very good. In fact, if you were British, I feel like there's even... Like, there's some people who are really into, like, FIFA in America. I feel like Top Gear was one of those things where even Americans would be kind of into it instead of watching... They
had their own version,
I thought so, yeah.
I've heard nothing but bad about that either. So.
Exactly, right. So it's like, I imagine it's... like, the only one they got lucky with was The Office. Was the only American thing that changed over that they got lucky with. Everything else, bad. On top of that, we're going to be
That's the American slander segment over.
Exactly. I mean, well, probably not, to be honest. But we're going to be talking about the Top Gear news. We're going to be talking about the spy photos of a brand new Mini. Is it EV? Because it looks like it's trying to be. Yeah. We've got...
It's the SE. Like,
oh, that, yeah.
Because the key press is the Sport, but it's
See,
SE.
I think you said it last week. Min E would have been 10 times better. Like, it really would have.
Just hire me at that point. Like.
Exactly. A new car revealed, the Gordon Murray. It's incredibly obscure. Kind of just want to laugh at it for a minute, but we'll talk about its specs and whatnot.
Oh.
Holy shit, what is that price? Huh? Okay, we will definitely talk about that. We will also be running over, like I said, the Top Gear news in the Motorsports segment. Oh no, we'll also be talking about this month's cars of the month or something. The most bought cars this month.
Can you tell it was a slow news week?
Exactly, right, exactly. Right, like we've never, this happens every month, yet we have never talked about it before. Like mentioned it, if anything. But we'll actually be running through it because this one's actually caused a bit of hoot and a holler, right? A bit of a hoopla, I dare say. Where people have been like, really? These are the cars people are buying? Which pretty cringe, you know?
Yeah, it's an understatement. Yeah.
So yes, that's what's going to be coming up on this episode of the Stick Drift Podcast, episode 22. Head down there, subscribe, leave a like on the podcast, which is what you're going to do right now if you're watching on Spotify. Make sure to favorite the podcast. Leave a review if there's an in-app way to leave reviews on Spotify. And whatnot. And if I ever discover it, I will look at the reviews. I'll do that. And
one day that will happen.
We use Spotify for podcasters, and I believe that also puts them onto like Apple and stuff. If it's not on Apple, let me know. I will try and get it on Apple,
How
Google
are they
Play.
going to let you know if they're not listening to an Apple?
Well, I mean, it's if the ones who are listening to it on somewhere else, I guess. Yes,
all
but
Apple users, let us know if it's on there or not.
On top of that, watch the podcast all the way through, and you know what? We've got the subscriber count. In fact, we're closing in on 1.1k. Head down there, subscribe with notifications on. But yes, watch the podcast all the way through. In fact, watch it a few times through. Unless it's against YouTube's terms of service for me to tell you to do that, in which case, don't do it. But if it isn't, you should watch the podcast at least 100 times all the way through. That would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Yes, so let's head on to the actual news this week, which I guess we can begin with the... I mean, God, there's a lot. You know what? This absolute monstrosity of a Mini is what we'll talk about. So it's the first EV Mini. Did we talk about this last?
There is one currently out at the minute, and it looks infinitely better.
Oh wait, what? There's a current.
It's
like,
just
mini
a normal
EV?
one, but it's EV. It's just a normal Mini that's EV.
Oh, see, I don't know if I like when they do that though. When you like
can't
can't
tell me
even
this
notice.
is better. You can't tell me.
Okay. Show me the old one. Is it just a Mini?
Show you the old one. I've got to find it fast.
But again, look. Look. There's two sides. We talk about this on the podcast many times, right? There's two.
I'll just put in Candice.
Yeah. There's two types of EVs and whatnot, right? That's a lot better. No, that is
different. It's got a different grille. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The grille is at least something different, but I do often say there's two types of EV cars. Ones that will not bother changing at all, and you just won't be able to tell that they're EV, or the ones that will actively, right, like go big new design and whatnot, big new fancy everything. And it seems like Mini's trying to do both. Because they had this, but now they're on top of that, going for this design right here.
Yeah, because the old one had crypto drone wheels, which also look infinitely better than the...
So for the audio listeners, if I describe this car, it's imagine just a Mini for a moment. Now imagine it completely smoothed down. Really, like, how do I even... I want to say the top of, like, a people's carrier, the hood, the roof, maybe like a Seat, the top, like, roof of a Seat. The back is weirdly square and beefy looking, and the front looks like it's really pretending to look like a bad Aston Martin.
It looks a lot Oh, can it send, please? It's
The
also going
front
in
to me
Carnage.
reeks of like bad-looking Aston or Jaguar.
Doesn't it not look like that?
Where have you
Which
put
also
this?
looks like a mini Porsche Carnage. There's like a mini Porsche Cayenne with mini lights on it. To be fair.
Oh wait, no, yeah, it kind of does. Wait, do we talk? I feel like I remember talking about this.
This came out like last year.
It was
but,
this, but a sedan. I feel like we talked
Yeah,
about.
they released a new version of this, but yeah, it's literally that. Like
It kind of is, but like
the
honestly,
aura funky cat.
I mean the Aura Funky Cat's definitely worse. I'll say the Aura's definitely worse. Even ironically, I can't say it's that, but worse.
But like it has the same headlights. And
It's
you
the
can see
same
on
headlights,
The new Mini, it's got the same like indentations on the bonnet.
Yeah, it's that really flat design. It looks terrible, frankly. The ring lights could look nice on a good-looking car. The grille, I feel like the grille and the body shape, which is quite a lot of the car, I realize. But
and the wheels
yeah.
were set back as well.
Oh, the wheels, sure. I think the back of the car, the back body shape, and the grille at the front. That's what I think ruins this the most. And also, the general consensus on this has been bad. So you've had your finger a bit more on the pulse of like what people think of this. It's been bad, right?
I've seen nothing but bad reviews. So.
Yeah. Which, fair, because it looks terrible. But again, give me a minute. Apologies.
It's like one of the few times where like it's significantly worse looking than the outgoing model. Because I'll put in another one. But like this is what it looks like standing still, the current one. Like it just looks so
That's
much.
a lot cleaner, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's just so much.
it's
better.
not got a lot of modernization. You know what it kind of looks like? To this compared to old Minis, it's more like you know, with the old London taxis to the new London taxis.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of jump up, which is a kind of okay jump up. But this is just going. This is a Watch Dogs taxi. Is what's happened.
Yeah.
There. Give me 1 sec again. There we go.
I don't know how they've gotten the wheels so wrong as well. Like the Crypto Drone wheels were odd when I saw them, but
they're
seeing what
unique,
they've
and
replaced them with, go back.
I never didn't like the Crypto Drone wheels. I thought they were still quite cool.
They're
looking.
weird. They're like asymmetrical.
I like the asymmetricalness of it. I mean, what's that EV with the charger cap on the front, on the front bumper?
Load of older ones. I know a load of old Hyundais did that.
Is it MG?
MG do it as well.
Yeah,
MG
I like
with
that because it
Lane
adds.
4.
It's like what, slightly to the right. It adds that bit of asymmetry to a very flat design kind of thing. It's like I like it basically. I like that design kind of, and I like this. I mean, it might just be this spec. Are all of them with this like green?
All of them have the green.
Okay, yeah, that's cool looking. This is a bit. I feel like it goes a bit too video game AI car, which is very. It's a very
They put
easy
it in the
insult
wind
to
tunnel
make.
and just like make it more aerodynamic. I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just more aerodynamic, sure.
Which isn't really what you want from a Mini, right? Which Mini driver's gonna look at it and be like, yeah, I want something aerodynamic.
Not one of them. It's it's like if they made the Fiat 500 really aerodynamic. It's not going to gain you any sales.
Exactly. It's not the audience that would care about sales. Maybe they should take a tip out of Ford's book, who are using a people carrier to replace the Fiesta, because they really know their audience.
Cancel the Mini and release a Citroen Berlingo. Just a Mini badge on the front.
Speaking of new cars, a reveal of the... Well, not a reveal. Is this more of a spy photo? I don't know.
It's not a spy photo, look at it.
Well, it's got like a spotted while
believe
spotted thing, I guess.
It's a spy photo.
Oh, not spy photo, as in like spotted while spotted, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's got a QR code as well.
I like the QR code, yeah.
Like, sure. I mean, I mean, kind of cool, I guess. It's... Volkswagen's new design is fine. I think it's fine. This thing's a bit too beefy. The front design is okay.
Sedan.
Yeah, I feel like it's rearing a bit too close to Audi. Is what I often find it doing. Like I remember.
So what's this Volkswagen Audi group?
I mean, you'd think, right? You would think that. But I know that because I remember back in SEMA, there was a what's the sedan Golf? It's got a Passat.
Passat.
Yeah, the Passat. And looking at it the entire time, I thought it was like an RS5 or something.
The wheels are going the wrong way.
I guess that's just a stylistic choice at this point.
Such a bad stylistic choice.
And then
It's not as bad as those Vauxhall wheels that are like one spoke removed from being a sticker.
Yeah, yeah, it is risky putting a bend in the spokes.
I have no idea how that got approved. These
Yeah.
are basically the same thing, but the Vauxhall ones were literally just lied.
Yeah. No, see, the thing is, these are just these are just that second line. That one was the bend. That one has the first line.
I don't remember what car that was. That is the
No.
thing. It's a shame,
Which also,
really.
these are weird spokes, because it
Well, with
gives
the cars rolling forward, they're like...
they're like
I-
slicing. They're slicing
Yeah.
the air. But what's it called? They're also like how do I even describe it? None of the spokes are coming off the center of the wheel.
No.
Like, if you use the negative space as the spoke, quote unquote, that's going diagonal. If you use the non-negative space, like the actual bit that is matter, that's even, like, that makes that little pentagon in the center. That, like, that leads into the
Yeah.
pentagon. It's
They are horrible OEM wheels.
No, yeah, those are disgusting wheels. Those are, frankly, really disgusting wheels. Poor audio listeners. But from that, we can talk about this absolutely goofy new car, the Gordon Murray T3
It's not
Spider.
goofy, it's British. You gotta have some bias.
Which this one I can, like, you know what, audio listeners, thank me, right? Because it doesn't matter that you can't see this car. Because I can give it the perfect description
It's
imaginable.
based on the T50. Look up the T50 and you
Okay.
can explain it as it's an F1.
T50,
You guys like GMA T50.
Oh, you know what? That from the... Oh, that's in GTA.
It's the one with the back that has the fan in it.
Yeah. So it like kind of... It's like a Huayra on the back, but with a bigger
Yeah.
exhaust because the exhaust is a fan.
That's their top tier model, because it's
yeah.
the T50, and then it's
Oh.
the T33, and
You
there's
know
a
what?
33 Coupe and a Spider.
This
And this is
thing, the T50, I can see it. I can see that being like a high-end sporty car that someone would have parked in a garage to look nice. Not like in their driveway. It's one of those cars that you'd see in, like, you know, when there's a garage that just has, like, billions of dollars worth of cars in it.
Yeah.
The T50 looks like a car that could justifiably be parked in one of those garages. This thing, the T33, looks goofy. It's so bad. Which, like I was saying, for the audio listeners, imagine a Huayra, but it's a Lotus. That's the car.
Yeah.
No fancy thing at the back, I don't believe. No, it's more flat at the back. It's got this really weird, goofy design, and also it looks a bit dated. Am I weird in saying it's this thing could still look slightly modern. It looks like a modern. Oh my god, the McLaren F1. That is what that is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally just the
It's almost
front
if
of
it's
a
the same guy.
Yeah, that's literally just a McLaren F1 from the front.
It even
Okay.
has 3 seats. It has
Yeah.
the same staggered seating position as an F1.
The T50's kind of cool, actually. I'm kind of falling for the T50.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
not gonna lie to you.
it's a great car.
The very attractive front of a McLaren F1 on a slightly more modernized center body.
The T33 is meant to be a cheaper T50.
And then a very cool
It's the
back
same
as well.
engine, basically the same chassis. It's just a 2-seater, like with a different body on it.
It just looks really bad. The body looks really bad. It doesn't look as modernized as the T50 does. Not at all. But it looks like... The T50 looks like a new car they'd add into GTA. The T33 looks like it's been in GTA since the start of the game. It's one of those kind of cars. But some of the specs of this car, this is from CarWow. The only open-top V12 powered manual sports car in the world? Sure. I mean, I imagine, clearly that's not a very high volume that's not a high competition market, I guess.
I mean, they're all already sold out, so...
Oh, are they? Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, when I get to the goddamn price, okay. 3.9 litre V12 with 617 horsepower. Those are numbers that mean things. Those numbers mean things.
You're buying it for the drivetrain. It's...
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a T50 with a different body on it, but it's much cheaper. You're buying it because it has the underpinnings of a T50.
How much is the T50?
2.3, but they sold out ages ago, so how much? It's like 3 mil plus resale.
The T50's a really good looking car, man. I'm just staring at the T50's really cool. But it is limited to 100 units, which I imagine the T50 was also probably limited to, like you said, it
Yeah.
sold out. I imagine that was also limited. 100 I'm not even like, who cares what it weighs?
That's ironically, considering that it's got a massive V12, that is very impressive.
Oh, is it? Well, it only weighs 1,100 kilograms. So like me when I'm like shredding a little bit, when I'm coming down from bulk.
Yeah.
That's round about me. But it is 1.89 million pounds. It is a what?
Well, I mean, each car's custom fitted to the buyer. So
it's one of those. It's like a Bugatti kind of thing.
You pay a lot of money, but you.
Okay. Yeah. I just prefer the T50 so much over. I already thought this was a bad looking car. But you know what? The T50's got a bit more design to it. Like just this line on the door. I think it's too flat. It's too one-piece body looking. The T33. I can't get behind it, but apparently... Name a better-looking V12 supercar will wait, is what Carwow said. So, let me just
I'll DM you. The normal, the non-Spider T33.
Okay.
It's technically, it's a bit different.
You can try and sell me on this car, but,
That's the coupe, and then the Spider has it's got a different rear end on it.
I just... don't like it.
It's sort of like an old Lotus Emira.
Yeah.
It's not Emira, like a Lotus Elise with a bit of F1 and a bit of Huayra. All like sort of.
Yeah. It's very derivative of many different cars. But I think this thing does derivative of cars. The T50 does derivative of cars.
I mean, the T50 is just
it's just an F1 with a Huayra on the back.
The F1 looked good anyway. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to make a bad looking F1.
I kind of want this in a video game, man. I'm actually hooked on the T50.
It sounds so good.
Yeah. God, cool car, man. Kudos to whoever designed the McLaren F1.
Gordon Murray, I'm sure is going to love this. He's going to send you 4 of these. Now.
I know, and he better, because these are really cool. And he'll be watching the Stick Drift podcast and be like, wait, that's me!
Yeah, your new car's terrible. Your old one.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The T50 can win the Stick Drift Award for 2023 right now.
Came out last year. But,
best car. Even better. But from that to finishing off the actual car news this week, because of course there's not been a lot. Just the spotted while spotted, I suppose stuff like, we already talked about this thing actually, I believe, never mind. Hyundai that was. Oh, the Renault Clio. Oh, but who cares? What did Renault Clios even look like?
Car of the century.
What did the newest Renault Clios even look like? Renault Clio.
It literally just exactly like this. Like, unbelievably like this.
Oh, is it that, Renault Clio new. See what
just
I'm
Renault
looking
Clio
at...
2022.
Oh, 2022. Okay, I was gonna say, because the ones I'm looking at are like the ones that are kind of in the Crew 2, which that one I like. I mean, this is... What, this?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, I don't see that in this. I think they've covered it up very good. But, yeah, the Renault Clio's, like... I've always thought it's a pretty cool car, I guess. It's always been a pretty alright hatch.
No one has ever said that before in their life.
It exists, and it's good that it exists, I guess, is where I'll change my opinion
own one, like, I wouldn't have even known it existed. Like, it's just a car.
No, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, right? Like, it's not like a grotty hatch. It's not like a... What's that really weird Ford... Is it Puma? Is that a hatch?
Puma's the weird SUV hatch thing, the crossover.
What's the version of that that's a hatch? Because I swear there is one. It's got the real bug eyes.
It's technically a crossover.
I'm thinking of a Micra? No, Micra's a
The
Nissan.
Micra's based off this. The Micra's the exact same platform as this.
Well, this has a better body on it, I guess. Nissan Micra. Yeah, the Micra. Okay, not the new Micras. Which, that stinks too. But, like, it's not... The Clio's never been, like, a grotty hatchback. It's never been, like, one of the real...
They blended so unbelievably well. Like you'll never notice one. Ever.
Yeah. You wouldn't actively go, oh, that thing sucks. You wouldn't actively go, oh, that thing's
some kind of invisibility cloak. Because, like, it
exactly.
They just disappear.
That's what I mean, right? Like, it's not a car...
Especially in, like, dull colours. Like, it's such a car... Like, it's kind of like a Corsa and a Fiesta and like a Golf, and an A1 just...
It's got its place, but it's like it's not a car to look at.
I mean, to be fair, when
Yeah.
because the next what's it called, Polos and Golfs are going to be electric.
Oh yeah, true.
The Fiesta and Focus are cancelled.
Yeah.
You've got this.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
The Hyundai i20 and 30, and the Corsa.
Huh. What, as in
And the
left
Astra,
non-electric, I guess?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, an EV
It's like
Clio...
one of 4 options you could have left.
Do Reynolds have... Oh, yeah, the 5 or something. The Renault 5?
If they release that,
Yeah.
did you see how much they want to release that for?
Oh, as in like, whoa, cheap or whoa, expensive?
Impressively cheap.
Oh, good.
25 grand.
Oh, what?
If they can get that out as it looks like in that concept for £25,000.
I'll tell you what, that's kind of hot as well. An Alpine, this is from Auto Express, an Alpine version of the Renault.
But yeah, if they can get the Renault 5 out for 25 grand,
yeah,
as it was at the it's in concept,
yeah,
they're gonna.
it's a pretty nice looking car. Yeah, I mean, if that established again, it's really good because these cars will be coming out now, or not now, but like within the next 5 years. EV hatches that are this cheap already. They'll do the run-of-the-mill going around 50 different boy racers, and then by the time everything has to be EV, there will be a cheap resale market of EVs, so people can actually justifiably switch to EVs when they start taxing the ever-living shit out of everything else. So yeah, I really like it, and I'm glad that everyone's doing this.
Did you know a Renault recently held the lap record at the Nürburgring for a front-wheel drive car?
Did it?
Yeah, they just didn't promote it at all.
Okay.
I think it was a Megane Trophy, like 270. It was a very limited version of the Megane. But yeah, it just had the lap record, and they just didn't promote it or anything at all.
Oh, the Megane's just a beefy, sporty kind of one.
Not
of this,
anymore.
right?
It's an SUV now, but yeah.
Oh, of course it is.
It
I'm looking
used to
at that.
be-
Is that this? That...
Yeah, that's the Megane's big now.
Am I terrible in saying I don't hate it? I kind of think I don't hate
It's
it.
a nice looking SUV.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's kind of like it's got a bit of a brawlery build. It's a bit wide. The Megane itself was already like a pretty cool looking ish car, especially compared to like the very mundane Clio. I don't. It's EV, right? It looks EV. Well, maybe is it?
Yeah. What's EV?
Eva Megane.
Well, it's got the green plate.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, the Megane EV that looks kind of nice actually.
Yeah, in 2019, right? Recently.
Yes.
There's a guy standing in front of it. DMs.
Uh-huh.
This. It looks so. Why is it so small?
That is a
4
tiny
pixel
image. Yeah.
Took the front-wheel drive lap record from the Honda Civic Type R. And they just didn't promote it. They didn't do any special editions. They were just
Oh god, and the Civic's like trying to be sporty.
The new version took it away, I'm pretty sure, but they also discontinued the Megane, so they didn't give it a try.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Like Renault are doing stuff, right?
They don't anymore. You can't buy an RS version of the Clio or a Megane. So.
Damn. Renault are cringy,
The top
actually.
spec Renault Clio has 90 brake horsepower from
Actually,
3 cylinders.
Whatever Renault is, I hold the popular opinion about them, actually.
I don't think anyone has an opinion. They exist.
True. What is this? Why is there like a brass, like Summit edition of the Megane?
Oh, it's probably some trim level. You probably get a spare wheel or something in the boot. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Megane EV, pretty alright, I guess. I think that's kind of cool. Clio blends in. New Clio will also blend in.
You could put an Audi badge on the front of that, and it would be an Audi
It'd
A1.
be an
Like...
A1. That's what I mean. It's the part of the new generation of Audi A1 hatchbacks, which. Sure, at least the front bumper's unique. I don't know. Sure. But I believe that concludes all the actual car news we had to talk about this week. Because no, there's not a lot else to talk about. But I mean, hey, we could do like I could go for like an hour just admiring the T50. Tell you what, god damn. You know, I condemn other people who like, you know, you ask someone, you're like, what's their dream car? And like, like a 2-year-old will go, it's the Bugatti Veyron. Like, okay, yeah, how are you getting a Bugatti Veyron then, right? But this thing might become my dream car. Oh,
it is nice.
It's really, really nice. I'm falling in love here. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yes. From that, the other thing we wanted to talk about was the Top Gear news. So I haven't been kept up with this at all, but I will. While I suppose, you can get some of the more stuff in front of you for the current going on. I will run over Top Gear for anyone who doesn't know it. I guess while you bring up whatever this current story is. Top Gear, of course, I'd hope that a lot of you know it. I don't know if you guys are too young, but Top Gear was, hopefully I do have at least some older audience on the podcast side of it compared to the main channel. But Top Gear, impeccably, I would argue one of the most famous TV shows ever. Probably, maybe, I don't know, that's sure. Definitely the biggest show or piece of entertainment in vehicles and racing for the last triple decade, whatever, right? But Top Gear was a show ran on the BBC, a British broadcasting company. It was ran with Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May. 3 incredibly iconic presenters who ran the show for a very long time until in around, what was it, I want to say it was a while ago
this would have
now.
been aged, like, well over 5 years now.
Being in middle school when I was told, like, did you know Jeremy Clarkson punched someone? Which, like, when did Top Gear change hosts? I guess End also comes up, which is like, yeah. So 2015. Oh, Lord.
Jesus
Is it
Christ.
about to be a decade since... Oh my... No, we're getting too old.
10-year anniversary of Clarkson punching someone.
Yeah, so what happened is one of the presenters ended up clocking one... Now, apparently this is incredibly disputed. Because it was like, apparently he made a racial claim. But that wasn't true. Apparently he punched him. Or maybe that wasn't true. Or maybe he swore at him. Or maybe that wasn't true. But he did something, and apparently the treatment of the whole layout of the show... I'm not here to defend anyone on either side, right? But apparently the whole layout of the show was terrible anyway, like the conditions and whatnot. So it was already a bad day for him, which doesn't justify clocking someone around the head, mind you. Not at all. But yeah, he clocked a producer around the head, apparently, allegedly, or whatever. And thus, those 3 presenters were let go. Amazon picked them up for the Grand Tour, which... I would say...
It's basically abandoned now, though. Like...
Yeah, it kind of is, but I'd definitely say for the first few seasons, what did sort of continue the same charm that Top Gear had.
Yeah.
But then very quickly, I think people just kind of maybe grew out of Top Gear in general, but that's easy to say when we don't know what would have happened if Top Gear stayed as it was. Which, speaking of, Top Gear then went from those 3 presenters...
They changed so many times after, but there's no way I'll
actually see Top Gear presenter...
Because they had the guy from Friends.
Yeah, which apparently, fair to him, he was actually like a car guy or something. But then what ended up happening is they just went through presenters.
They had like a new host every season.
Yeah, it was wild. I'm trying to find the thing for... presenters, here we go. So, they had Richard Hammond, James May, that Chris Evans was a presenter? Oh! Not Chris Evans, Captain America! Oh!
That would have been interesting.
Chris Evans!
Captain America's age, Jesus.
Damn, right. Not
Must
Chris
be fair for his new role.
Chris Evans, Matt LeBlanc, which, yeah, again, apparently he's the Friends guy.
It's like a fake French name. Like, what's your name? Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc, yeah. Yeah. But, him, who, fair to him, apparently he was a really passionate car guy. it was just really weird going on Top Gear and being like, what's the guy from Friends doing here?
Yeah.
So Chris Evans was only 2016. Then it was Matt LeBlanc was 2016 to 2019. Sabine Schmitz, possibly first female presenter. Yes. She was 16 to 20.
What does she look like?
I
recognize the name.
She was maybe like a racing driver or something.
Oh, the one with the van around the Nürburgring.
Oh, she was in another episode of Top Gear. That's where I recognize her. She was the one from that episode, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So she was in that episode. Eddie Jordan from 16 to 18. So it sounds like they got. So in 16, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%. Oh, so yeah, this guy, Chris Harris. No, sorry, that's Eddie Jordan. I'm losing track. Another
Eddie
Chris.
Jordan is in Jordan F1 team.
Eddie Jordan, also known as EJ, is an Irish businessman, television former motorsports team owner. Yeah.
Yeah, like they had the Jordan F1 team creator and owner on, sure.
They tried, I guess.
He would be a great person to have on the show, I imagine.
Yeah. So they weren't dumb with it. I mean, even though it was funny to see Man from Friends, they definitely tried to get someone who would work. Oh my god, that doesn't say Riley Reid. Okay, Rory Reid.
That would have been interesting.
That really would have, you know? Rory Reid.
Oh, Auto Trader guy.
Oh, is that who that is?
He does the Auto Trader channel now. He does, like, car reviews.
And Chris, who is currently still on. So, yeah, so in 2016, they got Chris Evans, Matt LeBlanc, Sabine Schmitz, Eddie Jordan, Chris Harris, Rory Reid, all presented.
Why did they get Eddie Jordan? Like...
And then, so by the end of 2016, Chris is gone. By the end of 2019, Matt LeBlanc is gone. Poor Matt LeBlanc. Probably had to, I don't know, film a Friends reunion, right? By 2020, Schmitz is gone. Sabine Schmitz. Eddie Jordan's gone by 2018. The first one who didn't just dip out the same year. Probably had to go run another F1 team or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he's went bust in 2005. So.
Oh, damn. Rory Reid was done by 2019. Chris, of everyone they got in 2016, Chris Harris was the only one to still be on the show. And then in 2019, they also got Andrew Flintoff and Paddy McGuinness. Paddy McGuinness, famous for this one photo, I feel.
That's an unfortunate photo.
Also, as I described, a less round Carl Pilkington. And then, so they finally went down to 3 hosts, which I guess that's how the show was always only gonna work. They got Chris Harris, who seems to actually know stuff about cars. He's like a magazine writer or something. I believe we looked through this a while ago. Paddy McGuinness, who does a thing, probably.
He probably does something.
And famed cricketer and topic of today's segment on Top Gear, Andrew Flintoff. What is up with him?
He rolled a Morgan three-wheeler.
The thing that Top Gear rolled like 50 times over in that one segment.
No, that was a Reliant Robin. The Morgan three-wheeler is meant to be pretty stable.
Oh, wait, no, I don't know about the Morgan 3. Oh, I imagine since it's meant to be pretty stable. I don't know if it
does now, but it has the engine out the front of the car.
Oh. I imagine if it's one that's supposed to be really stable, when it's not...
The Morgan Super 3 was the name of the car.
Third wheel at the back.
Yeah.
So this thing... But what, the one that he was... So you said Super 3-wheeler?
Yeah, the Morgan. I'd assume it would have been a 2021 or something, because I assume they were reviewing it or something.
Yeah, so this thing... Oh, God, how do you... Like, you'd think, because wheel at the back, it would be stable.
I would be quite amazed if you were able to flip this.
Yeah, how fast was he going? What?
It doesn't say. I think it's like around 133 mile an hour.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to do most of the. So like, what happened? So what has that led on to? Because there's been news stories recently.
Essentially, because there were two of them in the car, which sure, and apparently he broke some ribs and got a concussion. But he's not posted anything on social media since.
Yeah.
BBC haven't said anything. Top Gear hasn't said anything about it.
And when did this happen?
He's just disappeared. December 13th, 2022.
Oh, so what? So he's been gone for like what? Coming up on like half a year? Yeah. 2 months. Okay. And what? Top Gear. So how did the seasons even work from when they changed?
They kind of just filmed them and released them whenever they felt like 4-episode seasons.
And I was gonna say 4-episode seasons. Original Top Gear was a lot more than that.
At least 6.
Yeah. Oh, well, which isn't a well, looking at it now, series 10, 10, 9, 10, 11. The more modern ones. So before the what happened. Yeah, the one in 2015 was 10. And then 6, 7, 6, 5, 5, 7, 5, 2, 6, 8. On average, less. Yeah, a lot more 5-episode seasons when the average for the old seasons...
I think the last season was with like 4 or something.
Yeah, 6 to 8 or 10 was the ones before the new stuff, but then the new ones are like 4 and 5 and 6, but then like some 6, some 7. So the show was already going very much downhill.
It was on its last legs as it is, and I think they were looking for the BBC were just looking for an excuse to cancel it, really.
Yeah.
And they run an internal investigation, and we're like, that sure was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And then we're like, no, we're no more filming.
And on top of that, like, I'm looking at average viewership, still in the millions, right? Like,
it moved from BBC 2 to BBC 1, and the viewership remained the same, which is funny.
Yeah, looking at that now, BBC 2. Well, if anything, it got higher on BBC 2, BBC 1 is what I'm looking at. So, what it was before was, it would always be, okay, so originally, obviously, like, 3 and 4 millions as it's ramping up. Then, 2007 onward, some outliers, mostly 6 to 7 million viewers. Yeah. Then, the 2015 happened, straight away, average viewership 3.8. After years of 6.5, 6.5, 5.3, 6.5, 6, 6, 7. Then 3, 2.3, 4, and then so 4, 4, BBC 2, 5, 6, 5, 3, 4. So it was already, it was bad. It was bad compared to what Top Gear was. They were already dipping down on the episode count. The show wasn't what anyone remembered it to be.
It was a massive cost as well for the BBC to record.
Exactly, right. Like the cars, I imagine it was nice to have the brand relations, right? But like, the cars,
it's all taxpayer money as well.
Exactly, right. Paying for all of them. I imagine the car companies, they'd be the type to go, you can have the car once you ship it there and back. So, would have been stuff like that. On top of, paying the presenters, because, well, even though they were kind of weirdly placed presenters, you'd still be working on Top Gear. You'd be expected to be paid high on Top Gear.
Yeah.
So, with how many they had. They did go down to 3, but that was only 2019 that they went down to 3. And then to already be sodding that whole thing off, I guess, so Andrew Flintoff directly. The articles have been, he's confirmed not to return. But they haven't explicitly been, the show's over yet. But they probably will be soon.
Oh, right? They've confirmed they're not going to finish recording this season.
Oh, okay.
So this season's just not going to exist.
Yeah.
And a year break is very long.
Yeah. Oh, I can already see like a Twitter goodbye to Top Gear post kind of thing. And it would be a sad send-off, because no one's really cared for that Top Gear for
I mean,
so
it ended
long.
before. Like,
Yeah.
it took like a 5-year break at one point beforehand, because there was Top Gear before James May and all that,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was in like,
And it could come
yeah.
back again at some point.
True, I guess, but like it's also kind of sad to see because like what we saw the the Scandinavian special. I feel like that still did all right. Like the Scandinavian special of Grand
Andy
Tour,
Flick,
Scandi
yeah.
Flick, right? Because it was named after the summit. But like I feel like that did. I heard a bit of buzz about that. It won the Stick Drift Award for best car media that year. Um,
It's the only one that matters, really.
exactly. But I feel like that still had a bit of buzz, right? Compared to this Top Gear, which is still going. Like, I feel like I come around every now and then, I'm like, is Top Gear still going? And it always has been. And then, yeah, it'll be unfortunate if I really do come to that point again at some point. Like, is
I
Top
mean,
Gear
I'm
still
watching
going?
like about a decade, so
I've never watched any of the since James May. The last Top Gear, like new one that I would have watched, would have been that really awkward one, where it's James May and Richard Hammond being like, "Well, yeah, this is sad, but here's the other clip we recorded that we do need to get out for this episode." Like, now I'm Top Gear
What
nostalgic.
is this car, by the way?
I don't know.
Of all the cars to get injured in this, it's just
Yeah.
embarrassing at that
Like
point.
what? Richard Hammond did it in like what that that cool
He crashed,
thing, the electric thing.
Which one? Yeah, he crashed
Exactly right.
Remember the Jet
iconic
Dragster.
one. The more iconic one, the one that was
I mean, the
actually
one they
like,
compare it to in the article is when he crashed the Jet Dragster at 288 mile an hour
oh yeah, that
and was
right.
put into a coma, and they
Yeah.
still carried on recording.
So what was that like? It's like a white thing. It's in Forza. It's electric. Rimac. Yeah.
The Vera.
I don't know what the second name. I don't know what its surname is. But I mean, I guess if you're a car, technically the surname would be whatever. But the Rimac, yeah. He. Don't mind me. You're going green and blue every now and then, by the way. But the Rimac. That's the one that I know about. That's the one that I remember hearing all about. Like, oh, Richard Hammond, he crashed in the Rimac or whatever. To go from crashing and almost dying in cars like it's not okay. To clarify, we're not sat. I hope the guy's okay. I hope Andrew is okay. But of all
how
the
would you
cars,
flip this?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I can't imagine
right?
there's any grip. It would just slide. Surely.
Like a Reliant, sure, it's made to flip over. A Rimac or a Dragster, those are made to be going so fast you'll spin out. But this thing,
He's like a knockoff KRM 7. Like it's just.
Poor guy. I hope he's okay. I do hope he's okay. But yeah, he's not coming back. They're putting the show on hiatus to not be finished. There's a big chance by the end of this year it's a send-off for Top Gear, and I imagine with that buzz, Grand Tour will probably be like, look, new season, where like Jeremy Clarkson or
Well,
Joe
they're getting a
Quigley-
bit old now. I reckon that's why
true.
they only do like one every 2 years now, because they're all just getting
well,
too old.
Prime's paying him for...
Especially after James May spun the Evo into the wall.
Oh, yeah, true, right, yeah. But what's it called? Richard Hammond probably kind of wants to live his life now too, right? The man's got 2 kids. Like 3, 4 kids or something like that. But what's it called?
Well, Clarkson's doing Clarkson's farm.
I was going to say,
so
Clarkson's getting paid for the farm, which
he
is a
can't
more
really
just...
take like 7 months to just go
Yeah.
film in some irrelevant country. and
Exactly, right.
Spin a car around in circles.
I reckon if Top Gear... What I would see happening is one season, quote-unquote, where, like, Jeremy Clarkson would do a funny, like, ho, we're still going, and then, like, laugh track would play.
I reckon they'll do a final like
And then-
send off at some soon. Next few years.
Like, yeah,
And they'll be like, we lasted longer than Top Gear. I think.
Exactly. That's the thing. I can't see them not doing one just so Clarkson can be like, oh, look, we outlasted
I'm surprised
Top
he
Gear.
had tweeted anything. Yet. Like,
Yeah. I imagine it's because the guy was in a car accident is why. Like,
yeah.
he probably wants to, but no, I think it's like, I keep wanting to clarify, look, I do hope the guy's okay. But poor Top Gear, I guess. You know what? We don't have to go as in depth about it now because we have managed to waffle this long on the Easter boring episode. But the cars, the another topic this week was just the top. What top is it? Because you cut out the top six. But what is
top 10. The rest are just
the rest
like the Golf, the Corsairs.
The ones you'd expect. But the top cars for this month were released, and it did have a bit of a buzz because they're all really big. And it's because manufacturers keep bloody cancelling the hatchbacks. Stop cancelling your hatchbacks.
The Ford Puma is there because they cancelled the Fiesta, and salesmen are selling old people Pumas.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, we want a Fiesta. Oh, we don't sell that anymore. We've got this. It's just as good and much more safe.
The Hyundai Tucson is
it's a generic SUV.
Hyundai. If they're like completely miscellaneous,
is it not Tucson? Because it's like, is it Tucson?
Is it Tucson? Oh, you know what? They would be that. Oh, it's that thing that is so generic. It's
that's what I mean. I can't picture it, but I know it's generic.
It's the one I always look at, and I'm like, that light and front bumper looks weird. Then there's the Sportage.
Yes, Sportage.
I know that from Top Gear.
Remove sport from the name immediately.
Is that the one that they used for like? Oh, these are all just miscellaneous SUVs. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Yeah, these are all just Like I see hundreds of these. Like
that could be Hyundai. Like
yeah. The Nissan
the Qashqai is just.
I'll take a guess. What does this thing look like? Oh wait, it's a miscellaneous SUV. What?
It's so bad looking. No,
that thing is terrible. Then we've got the Nissan.
The Duke.
I wonder, what does this look like? It's just a miscellaneous SUV.
It's like Qashqai, but with a slightly different design style. What?
You know what? You know when I say stuff like Audi SUV, and I'm like, oh, well, at least they look nice when I notice them in public. I'm now processing. It's just because it'll be any SUV that isn't one of these. It's because I see so many of these when I see an Audi or a Merc. I'm at least like, at least they didn't just buy one of these. Because
at least, Range Rovers are generic, but at least they put V8s into some of them. But these are just bad.
Like, genuinely, these, I'm only just processing it. I have probably seen hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands.
When was the last time you saw a Model Y?
A Model Y? Oh, so, yeah, so...
I see loads of Model 3s.
Yeah. So
I never see any Model Ys, and I don't know this. This has to be a conspiracy theory.
So all of these cars that I've just talked about, these insanely miscellaneous SUVs, these are 6 through 2. The number 1 best-selling car in the UK for March was the Tesla Model Y, which isn't entirely SUV.
What? It's big.
Is it? Okay.
Big. It's bigger than a Duke.
Okay. Well, what's that? Do they model...
It has weird hatchback look proportions, but it's bigger than a Duke.
Okay, Tesla Model 3. That's one I don't see very
I don't know if it's the S or the 3. It's the generic sedan that everyone finances.
Model S.
Millions
That's
of
the one I see everywhere. Actually, do I? So there's this one.
They're all the same car.
They kind of are.
Whatever one's the cheap one, I imagine.
This one is the one I see everywhere. Yeah, I saw one of those yesterday.
I know at least 3 locations where I could go in there would be a model. Is it the S or the 3?
What, the most popular one or the one that I see everywhere?
Yeah, the popular one. Or the one you see everywhere, because I assume that's the one
like
that
this one, but this is the one of them 3. It's the
3. I assume it is the 3, because that sounds like the cheap one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where there are loads. I know there are a load of Model 3s around.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Model Y. It doesn't exist.
Tell you what, even the Model X kind of looks like... Okay, they do all look the same. But the Model X kind of looks better than the Model Y. Like, the Model Y
I've seen more Model X's than Ys.
The Y has that weird rounded, bug car design.
Model Y was best-selling in December as well.
Was it? I don't...
Yeah.
Because I was
So,
going to
like,
say...
I don't know where they're being sold to.
What my argument was going to be, like, was that, like, oh, well, it's only this month, so maybe we haven't seen them. But, like, if it was December, too, like, where are these going? What are people... Like, I can't say... Maybe it's just one of those things. Now we know it, now we'll start seeing a lot of them. But I can't say I've seen a bunch of Model Ys
I've
anywhere.
never seen a Model Y anywhere. Unless it's London and, like, Essex sort of area.
Maybe.
I can think.
I guess, because it would help for, like, emissions and stuff, right? So I guess people would be getting...
It has to be, I want an SUV, but it has to be electric.
Yeah. But it's really bad. It's really bad. Like, I don't feel like it has the prestige.
If you buy a Model Y, you deserve to get it stolen.
There's a bit more of a, ooh, look at the car I'm driving in the Model X than there is in the Model Y. Like, the Model Y
Model
is
X is like 100 grand.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. But again, like, I'm just now... I just want to come back to that. Like, I'm now... like, the reason I appreciate the cool, beefy-looking Audi SUVs is because it's not just a Duke... or a Qashqai, or a Sportage, or a whatever this was. Because I am just realizing how many of those I see. Wow.
I mean, the Ford Puma looks unique.
Yeah, you reckon? Ford Puma...
I mean, the shape's not, but the front is definitely a design choice that someone made.
The newer Pumas... I want to not admit that I kind of like them. The newer Pumas.
Too bubbly. I mean, that's an ST, so it's
that's
at least somewhat level of cool.
Looks like it's a bug-eye car. Like, what's the old Puma look like?
It's a two-door sports car. So.
Yeah, the old Puma, the most disgusting thing ever made. But it looks kind of nice modernized. Like, this, terrible. This, I don't like it.
They're both bad. They are both bad.
But this thing looks kind of zippy. Where they're not doing the Fiesta, it's nice that they've got the
crossover.
Puma.
It does not look zippy.
Is it a crossover? Is it bigger than it looks in this image?
Massive.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Audi Q3 size.
Oh, okay. Could you understand why this at, like, Fiesta size, I would find
If that was a hatchback,
cool.
yeah, sure.
Oh, is it not even a hat? Is it technically a SUV?
It's technically a crossover SUV, yeah.
Okay, yeah. This as a hatchback, I like the idea of. No, but this thing being that big would look... Because it's big, but it doesn't have that brawlery build, I guess. But,
It's like a little cute face. It looks like it should be like a Fiat 500 size.
That's what I mean, right? Like, this is a Fiesta-type car. I would like
a Focus front bumper on it. Like, they've actually just taken the front
I mean, yeah,
Focus.
that too, exactly, right? Like, Focus kind of size. That would be kind of cool. But... on that note, we can go on to the final segments of the Stick Drift podcast.
Is there even anything for game news? Like that's
gaming? Oh. No?
That's a Sunday in the Crow.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I guess just like the weeklies, really. Which has just been...
Forza is a car, I imagine.
You know what? You go look at Forza while I look at the
Where do I even find that information?
The Forza Discord server, I guess? Or I guess gaming, racing game news section.
What's the date?
It's,
the 9th. The new car this week in Forza is
the Cadillac!
Cadillac CT5V Blackwing.
It looks... good for a Cadillac. It's like, sure, it's got like the Peugeot lights, which I like, I guess.
I'm sure they love getting compared to a budget Frenchman. I'm sure all Cadillac fans are throwing their arms in the air right now in joy.
Peugeot just got good light design out of nowhere one day.
Why are we getting the CT4 on the 20th and we're getting the CT5 2 days ago?
I don't know. But
we get the Rimac Nevera at the 30th, well, last.
Oh, do
last
we?
month.
What? As in the one that what's his name?
Hammond.
That wasn't in Horizon 5.
Must have been. I know the Nevera, so it must have been the one he crashed.
Did you know that the name Rivera is? They might have just been like, "Hey, by the way, this car is in the game." You never know. But also, I don't think it was that one that he crashed. The one that he crashed was probably a different. I don't remember. Gaming news: the Crew 2's in So French. The Magma Edition Devo. It's pretty hyped. The Wheel Clash Summit.
He crashed the Rimac Concept 1.
I thought so. Because
which is probably what the prototype Nevera was. But...
yeah, Concept 1. Yeah, that looks like the one I remember him crashing. And it looks bad. Like, why is its eyes so tiny? Eyes, headlights. What's it called? We got the summit next week. Nothing major. No, it's quite fat. It's the Wheel Clash Summit. Like, whatever. Forza's doing that. And
there's nothing else. Like, there is nothing.
no, CarX isn't doing a thing. CarX isn't doing anything. Pretending like they're even bothering with the game on PC. Gran Turismo's doing nothing. Motorsports doing nothing.
Motorsports is the new TDU. I'm pretty sure it's never going to exist.
Yeah. More people are being like, hey, we're building this game from the ground up. So why does it look so much like 7? With stuff like the Forza Aero and stuff carrying over. There's Need for Speed Unbound. Is also not doing anything. There's nothing. This is like God.
Slowest week in history.
And you sat through this. You, the viewer, you sat through this, right? Oh wait, there's still the Motorsports segment. I'll mock you later. Onto the Motorsports segment.
There's not much.
Podcast.
British Superbike happened, but I didn't watch it because I didn't know it was on.
Well, the stuff that actually matters. So everyone's suing someone.
Everyone's suing everyone at this point.
Yeah.
The Massa one is so long and drawn out. It's unbelievable. So
yes.
Felipe Massa is looking at taking legal action against, I think it's both McLaren and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Over the 2008 championship results. Because, was it Renault or was McLaren? So Crashgate happened. I'm pretty sure it was Renault.
Yes.
Renault purposefully crashed a car, and it was known that they purposefully crashed a car to bring out a safety car to get Alonso the win, because Alonso's win, I don't know, in 2008.
Yeah.
And that safety car caused Massa to be like 13th or something. If that safety car wouldn't have happened, he would have been a lot higher up. And he lost the championship by like 2 points or something in the end. So if that didn't happen and that race was nullified for the, obviously, Renault purposefully crashing the car, Massa would have won the championship.
Wait, so who are they suing? The FIA or the other racing team?
Everyone, by the looks of it. I think it's McLaren and the owners of F1 has got some point.
Racing the other racing... racing? Well, I mean, obviously racing the other racing team. Suing the other racing team sounds kind of dumb. I
think he's looking into taking legal action.
Okay. But then I imagine, if anything, yeah, you'd go after the FIA... Because they make the decisions, right? And they're notorious for being
Well, apparently
bad.
Bernie Eccleston knew about something, I don't know. He's waffling us, but he's not the head of F1 anymore, so that's...
Huh. And then...
if he wins, if he does win, Lewis Hamilton will lose a championship.
Yeah.
And Massa will also be the last person to win a championship for Ferrari, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Oh!
Alonso won for Ferrari.
Did you see the clip of Max Verstappen? There was a clip going around on Twitter. I assume it's from Drive to Survive. It's him in a car, and they're talking about the race or whatever, and the guy's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be wet or something like that. And Max Verstappen was like, oh, the wet would be nice, but in the dry, that gives Ferrari more opportunity to fuck up their strategies, which was quite funny. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, Ferrari. I think Haas have more points than Ferrari this. I think Nico Hulkenberg in a Haas is ahead of Leclerc in a Ferrari so far this season. Yeah, that's now.
And the next race,
Williams, Rocket.
Oh, yes.
They were Williams sponsor in 2019, title sponsor, so it was Rocket Williams F1.
Yeah.
Are taking Williams to court for 149 mil, which would bankrupt Williams.
What do they do? Because all of them are like external. What do Williams do outside of F1?
Nothing.
Oh, are they just an F1
No,
company?
it would collapse the company. Yeah, it would collapse the company.
Oh. What?
Like they used to work with Renault for they done some Renault Williams cars back in the day, but not for 2 decades.
I'm seeing Williams Trade Supplies, but I don't know if that's Williams the F1 team.
No, Williams is such a common surname.
Okay, yeah.
Company name. They don't do anything apart from F1.
Oh,
They're like one of the last, like F1. Like they were a, what's his name? We talked about him earlier.
Something like, oh, I have the tab open still. Actually, if I can find it,
Jordan.
It was
They were like a
Eddie
Jordan
Jordan.
F1 like kind of thing, where it's just some guy has an F1 team.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah,
Well, they're asking to go bankrupt then. Like, I mean, I imagine even legal fees will be very frustrating for this.
well, they're now owned by an investment firm. Is the thing.
Okay. I imagine they're not going to be happy.
Any sense of them losing money, they are going to throw the team away instantly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, they'll probably sell it to someone who does something outside of F1 to fund the team.
Yeah. If they said it to Ford or someone, Ford won an F1 team.
Exactly. I mean, I imagine they would, right? Because it's like Ford vs Ferrari, whatever. That's in my head, I guess.
Williams get a bonus for being a historic team, which is their way of saying, please don't leave. We know you're borderline bankrupt. Stay. They get like 40 mil or something just for staying.
What are they getting sued for?
Apparently, Williams promised Rocket that they would have a competitive car in 2019. They came last that season.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
You laugh. In 2019,
yeah,
it was believable they could make a quick car because 2014 and 15, they came third in the championship. And like a few years before that, they came second twice in like 2005 and 6 or something like that. So in like 2019, it was believable they could make a fast car.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't.
To be fair, what I'm finding the most funny is just that, like, they're getting sued over being like, oh, look how good we're about to be this year. Flopped, and are now getting sued for it.
Like, the weird thing is, like, apparently Williams told, because it would have been like, when would this have been? 2019. This would have been Frank Williams' daughter when she was running the team. Apparently she promised Rocket that if they didn't have a competitive car at the moment because of funding. If Rocket funded them, they could then, because apparently they knew how to make a quick car, they couldn't produce the parts.
Yeah.
So with the money that Rocket gave them, they made the parts or whatever, and then they'd be quick. They weren't quick. And now Rocket's claiming you lied.
Yeah.
If they have anything in writing claiming that, Williams are screwed.
Well, I imagine it's like if it was actually like a promise. If they were just like, hey guys, we're trying to be fast this year. Sure,
if it's verbal, Well,
but even if it was verbal, if they did verbally even, or like obviously if it was recorded or something because it has to have proof or whatever. But if they did in any way say, we will have this by this time and give us this money because we will have this, then sure. But if it's like, give us this money, we're gonna try to have this, then it's like, if it's
for
tried,
a company
basically.
like suing a big company like that,
I imagine
they
they
have
said,
to have some kind of evidence.
Yeah, I imagine they
Like,
said
there's no
we
way they're
will
just-
be this fast.
Yeah.
Which then, sure, I guess, like, being sued for a skill issue, that's funny.
It bankrupts the team.
Yeah.
They
which
got
is
brought in
unfortunate.
2018.
Yeah.
Was it 2018 or 2020? The investment firm brought Williams for 130 mil.
So they're being sued more than they're
They're
worth.
being sued for more than they're worth. That was pre Drive to Survive hype.
Okay.
I reckon they're
more
probably worth
hype
about
from that?
300-ish now. But I reckon if this lawsuit gets anywhere close to winning, Dorelton will just sell the team.
Well, isn't it that Drive to Survive focuses on the lesser teams or something? Because everyone else.
No,
is...
Williams didn't get shown at all, and I think.
Oh yeah, it was the opposite thing, right? Yeah.
Williams made their own because
the actual F1 races focus on the non-stuff going on because, oh look, Verstappen, oh look, Hamilton, oh look, Alonso.
To be fair, it's basically all Aston Martin and Ferrari focused this year.
Yeah, but F1, like, what are they even doing actually? Like, behave yourselves, maybe.
There's a new race format for next race.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to pull this from the back of my memory because this was. Unless I can quickly scroll up to it.
Yes.
Right, I found it. Friday.
Yes.
There is free practice 1 and qualifying for the main race on Sunday. Saturday.
Yeah.
There is qualifying for the sprint race in the morning, sprint race in the afternoon, and then Sunday there is the main race.
Huh. which I don't know how they normally do it. Frankly, I don't know.
Fridays, free practice 1, free practice 2. Saturday, free practice 3 qualifying, Sunday race.
Oh, so depending on when we talk, when we do the podcast, there might actually be like a very fresh F1 race having just happened.
Race should be 3 o'clock on a Sunday.
Okay.
For main race. Sprint race will be like 3 on a Saturday.
Oh, so that'll be alright then. Is it like PM? Or
PM, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And there are 3 British touring car races that weekend and
Yes.
2 MotoGP races.
Which, tell you what, this episode being this kind of like what is even going on episode, you'll actually have some in next week. So
There'll be too much next week, I guarantee it. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna post new car.
yeah. Well, they'll have to catch you up. But on that note, thank you so much for bearing through this unbearable episode. Well, not even unbearable. There still was a lot to talk about, and we still made regular episode time. So yeah. Leave a like on the podcast.
Was used there.
Check out the Stick Drift channel. Check out this channel. Subscribe. Check the episodes out. I guess every Monday. I'm gonna have to see how my schedule plays out still, but that should be about it from us this week. We'll see you boys next week in a
Yeah.
bit.